All right, coming at you here today with the 1966 GS. Got some final sanding to do here. I got the roof pretty much sanded out. The trunk is pretty much there. I just got to get in certain areas pretty close here. I want to just take my time with that there. So it's pretty close here. So this is Sunday. So hopefully next weekend I'll be getting this one finished up. But you won't see this video till then anyway. Because this is one of the last videos that I'll be shooting on what I'm doing on this car. After that, Bob will be getting his engine rebuilt. And once he put that in, if possible, I'm going to go over, try to help him with some of that, and do a little shooting of the video as we putting that in there. And then it'll come back over after he's getting it running, and then I'll put the interior in for him. So there will be more videos to come on this one, but I just want to take you around and show you what I'm doing now. So I got this jammed out already, so what I'm doing is taping off so when I paint, the overspray won't get off into there, the sealer and everything, so all of that will be taped off and I won't be getting no overspray in there. So so that's what I'm doing now. I'll come back, I'm gonna do a little tape in here, and I'm not gonna the thing about this is that, for one, I wouldn't be taping this now if I wouldn't have slipped up and forgot before we put the hood on to spray my black onto the sandable black onto the hood, because this still needs to be sanded. So I ran out, you see there, I put a little on there, but I ran out and I forgot to put it on there. So now when I spray the black on there, to show, you know, make sure I got all my sand scratches out, which is this here, you know, because this looked like this before sanding. So when I sanding it, if you see right here, it's a little black there, so I come and hit that just a little better. See that there? That tells me that I still got a little sanding to do there, you know, around the corners here. I didn't hit them yet. I'm gonna just scuff them. So that whole hood needs to be sprayed with the sandable primer. Let me show you that now, just so you'll see. Because I don't know who know this stuff and who don't. All right, so let me show you this here. This is the sandable primer that I spray on the panels before I sand them. Even when you're doing the body work, you know, your body filler, you spray the sandable primer on there and it'll show you your low spots. So that's kind of what I use. They got other things. I guess some of the more expensive shops, you know, better shops might have these little pads that you dip in the dust, but we're not that sophisticated around here, so, you know, we just go with what we got. All right. All right, so like I said, I'm just using the smaller tape here because it's easier to just get right up to the line here. And, well, actually, the good thing about this green tape here that I use, I might be able to get away, but I just never like taking a chance. I might be able to get away with leaving this on here all the way up to our paint and prime, but I really don't like to do that. I like to pull it back off because my sanding, it could be dust edge around here. So after I put this in black with the black sandable primer, I will be peeling this back off, and then I have to retape this again. It's a mistake that I made. I didn't pay attention. The hood been upside down since I jammed it. And I didn't realize, you know, that I didn't have that sandable primer on there. So all right, so the same thing here, just to make sure that I'm see, and that's kind of why I use that smaller tape at first, because it bends a little easier than this. But and honestly, I don't really know why I'm being so careful with this, because I am going to pull this back off. I guess it's just force of habit of trying, but really this can just be slapped on here. I don't know why I'm being overly cautious here, because hey, it's coming back off of there. So all you really want is a dust coat on here. That's all you really want to do. It don't need to be too thick, just a dust coat. And then I come in, I think I'm done for tonight, but I come in and get this sanded out tomorrow. 600. But it's gonna get in these areas just fine. We'll try to roll this. And I hope the camera is catching this. I'll try to roll up in there. And remember, all we're doing is getting the black off of here. That sandable primer. That's all we're going for here. Let me go both ways with this. And I'm doing the same X pattern. Same X pattern. And I come through and wipe this down. Like I said, all you're trying to do is get the black off of there, the sandable primer. Then that panel will be ready for paint. All right. All right, coming here today, I'm kind of on my final wash here. Wash it down, let it dry. And you should be ready for paint. Yes, sir. Kind of got the floor washed down. I'll wash it down one last time. So I come in, I open up the doors, I wash the drawer jams out, the trunk jam, the hood. Just make sure everything's clean. And then let it dry, and tomorrow when I get in, I'll start taping her up. Once she's taped up, then she'll be ready for paint. All right, so now she's all washed. I'm gonna dry her down, and I will get ready to let it dry down here for a little bit, then I'll start all my taping. So she's ready. Get all my taping done. See, I'll let her dry down some here. And she'll be ready to go. Yes, sir, she'll be ready to go. As you see here, I got the line here, and I got a little overspray of the blue here. So what I'm trying to show you here, since I'll be sealing this car, what I want to do is take the little finer line tape that I got here, tape here, and I'm going to tape just a little bit where the blue is here with the thin line tape, and that way when I seal, the sealer, I won't get such of a thick edge here. So I can peel the thin tape off, and when I spray my base, then it'll come out without a rough line there. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through this and show you how I do this here. Now just tape this edge off with this finer line tape here. So also what you want to do before you do that taping is come through and slightly scuff this outside edge. Then what you do is you come through with your final sand cleaner, which I will be cleaning the whole car, and you want to clean that whole edge, that whole door edge. Before you do your taping there, you want to clean that edge up. All right. So since I use that slick sand or any primer, especially if you're doing body work in these areas, because sometimes, you know, they be punched in, you might have to pull them out, put a little body filler in there. You want to get them sanded down. You don't want them too thick in this area so the lock will still fit, but what I like to do is just come in here and sand all the way around these areas. So I like to sand all the way around these areas where the door lock will fit in there for sure. So even here, I like open this up with the door handles, make sure they're fit in here. Make sure it's not a, you know, these holes are. So then too, where these emblems, the word Wildcat GS going here, I like to make sure these holes are open up too. That, you know, like I said, you don't want none of this have to be hammering or trying to get nothing to come in, you know, into these areas hard. And then when I do this, when I seal it, any bare metal I'm hitting, that sealer is gonna get in there, but it won't be as thick as not opening these areas up. I had already did these areas, but what I'm doing now is seeing that I had to do a final wash on this. It started rusting a little bit in these areas, so all I'm trying to do now is get the rust off of there. So it cleans it up now, and then when I seal it, it'll have a coat on it, then the base coat, then the clear. So all I'm doing is getting the rust out of these holes now. I got her all taped up. Okay, so now that I got the sealer, on there, like I said, I want to pull this off now. All the way around the car. Don't want that to come up. So I'll go all the way around the car, pulling this end up. So, all right, so we got it in sealer. All right. So it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still not done. I'll go in the house for about an hour, let this dry, let this clear dry some. Then I gotta come in and unmask this baby, so I don't leave no hard lines. Because if you leave that tape on there too long, you'll have hard lines. And it's a very delicate process, unmasking, because you don't want to touch the tape on anything. But overall, the 66 GS came out pretty good. Man, I wonder what this color gonna look like in the sunlight. I think it's gonna be beautiful. So she's done, fellas. Well, this part anyway. It's been a long day. I had to build that ugly thing. That's what took so long. Yeah, this roof is really, really high. Really, really high. So, yeah. But overall, she come out pretty good. She's looking pretty darn good to me. So far, no runs. Not a one. I'm normally good for one. Sometime none. But I went around this one pretty good. There's 4 coats of clear on here, so 4 coats of clear. Wet sand off about a coat And boy, it should be looking like glass. We'll wet sand it out next year, let it dry. Let all the thinners evaporate. Yep, it's turned out pretty good, guys. 66 Wildcat GS.